What's up, Diablo fans? Five here, and in this video, I'm going to talk about the monk and what to look for in gear-wise for your build. In this particular build that I'm going to show, it is a bell-bursting build. So I want to go over the skills first, because I don't think I have really gone in depth about the skills with any of my videos. So I'm going to give a shot here with this particular monk. The first one, the X, or I don't know how it is on the Xbox, but for PlayStation, I go with Fist of Thunder, and I like this because it generates 6 spirit per attack, and also Thunderclap is a really great rune for speed runs because you can teleport to the enemies, so that's really nice. And then also you can actually hold down just X, and then if there's a big pack, they'll just bounce, so you don't have to keep pressing X all the time, and you can save a little bit of on your thumb while you're on a long gaming session. So that's what I use. For my square, Way of 100 Fist, and then for the rune, I've been switching it up between Blazing Fist and Fist of Fury. I really think I'm going to go back to Blazing Fist just because the crit hits increased your attack speed and movement speed by 5% for 5 seconds, and it can be stacked up to 3 times, which that's very nice. And then another important one is Sweeping Wind, and I use Cyclone. Cyclone is basically crit hit chance has to, so every time you crit, you can have a chance of spawning Lightning Tornado, which will kill the enemy even faster. And there is a specific needs for this build, and that's crit hit chance, and we'll get into that when we go over the gear in a little bit of detail. And the most important thing about this build, personally, I think, is, since it is a bell bursting build, is Wave of Light, and this does crazy damage. You can take it on elite, within 5 seconds. So it's a really nice build. The rune that I use is Empowered Wave because it reduces the cost of spirit, because it is an intensive uses a lot of spirit, so you want to cut down the cost as much as possible. And the mantra that I use is Mantra of Conviction. I just do this to get extra damage and use I can't even talk right now. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. But it increases the mantra of conviction for 24% more additional damage and 48% for the first 3 seconds. So you can actually kind of somewhat min-max this build when you're going up against the elites. What you can do is, right before you're gonna attack elites, you hit your you hit the R1 button, your mantra, and for 3 seconds you get 48% more damage. So then your bells will do more damage and be able to kill the elites much faster, because that's what it's all about. It's about speed with this type of run. Let's go into my passives. Exalted Soul. It increases your spirit by 100. That's amazing. I mean, you definitely need to have that extra spirit when you're going with this type of build. It also regenerates spirit by 1 per second, which is not really bad. I keep doing that. And One with Everything. Basically, with One with Everything, you can stack up. You don't have to always have all res. Say you want to just stack, you got this epic loot and you want to, and it's got poison resistance or fizz res on it. You can stack that, and when you find other gear, it adds to that. So say you have a total of 400 poison res all together on your gear. it's going to add that, and then if you have any all res, it's going to add on top of that, and we'll get into that when we take a look at the gear for the build. And I did it again. And combination strike, each different spirit generation ability you use is increase your damage by 8% for 3 seconds. And big thing about monks is you definitely want to get that damage going. And then like R2 is Breath of Heaven, and you want to spam this as much as possible. Blazing Wrath. If you when I go over some other things in my video, not this video but upcoming videos, you guys will see that. But Breath of Heaven increases your damage of your attacks by 15% for 45 seconds. That is amazing for 45 seconds to have that. And after another 45 seconds, you just hit it again. So it's really, really nice to have. So let's go into the gear of what you're looking for this type of build. As you can see, I have the Bone Saber. And what I really like about the Bone Saber is the attacks per second plus attack speed, and the number one thing that I love about this is life leech. You see that it has 2.8% damages converted to life, so when you're killing an enemy and he's hitting you, he's taking your life down, but when you're killing him, every time you get a hit, that adds more life, which is very, very nice to have. And then these are crafted gloves. The big thing, but what we talked about earlier with your tornadoes, your Cyclone, is you want to have that high crit chance. You want to have every possible gear that can get crit chance, and you want to have crit chance on there because it's going to spark more tornadoes, and that's what you're definitely going to need to when you're running Sweep and Win. And then I got the nice file awards, and you see here, remember when I talked about one with everything, with the 52 all res, and that stacks with the 85 all res, and then plus armor. I mean, you want to have high armor. And then we take a look at the chest. Big thing here is plus armor and plus life percentage, because who doesn't want to have more life? The helm is only missing one affix, and that is crit chance. But it's got that all res that we're looking at, and that goes very well with one with everything. And it's got attack speed. You definitely want to have a high attack speed. And then we're taking a look at my amulet, where it has attack speed and that high crit chance, that 10.5% of crit hit chance, and that helps with the tornadoes. Also, we have some crafted bracers with all res on them, as you can see, plus armor and that crit hit chance, that most important crit hit chance. And it looks like I found some lacunas that I haven't ID'd yet, which that's kind of odd. And then the Wonkin Lao. As you can see, it's very high in damage. It is missing a few affixes that I really wanted to have. Additional crit damage would have been nice, or a second lifesteal weapon. But nonetheless, that 30% lightning skill damage, that is amazing to have, because your tornadoes spark that lightning. So this doesn't include into the damage of the 208,000 DPS. That is paper damage. That doesn't include like any type of skill damage, which this is a very, very good weapon for that. And then let's take a look at the ring that I just found yesterday, which I was so excited about because I've been trying to get this ring for the past week. It's got crit hit chance, big thing. But the number one reason why I wanted this, because of the Race to 100 Paragon, is that 25% experience bonus, which is amazing, by the way. And then the Hellfire Ring, the good old Hellfire Ring. It's got average damage on it, but it's missing something very important. It's missing crit, which I have rolled quite a few Hellfire Rings. This one was actually the best one that I've ever rolled. And it has that bonus experience, which if you have, say, another tune that you want to level, you can actually throw this on that tune at level 0, and you can level even faster, which everybody wants to get to the end game. Everybody wants to get to 60 and then, you know, start exploring Inferno, building that better gear, and getting excited about finding this epic loot. I'm really torn in between the boots that I just found, but I'll tell you the reasons why I like them a lot, and that is the movement speed. I was only having 12% movement speed with my pants, but with these boots, I can actually take off what I used to have was the Lacuni Prowlers on there. So I got that extra 6% crit damage since I haven't rolled any Lacunis with crit chance. And also this has attack speed. That's a big bonus too. You definitely want to keep having that high attack speed because, you know, the higher attack speed, the faster your opponent dies. Those monsters just go down and they melt. You'll go into a Twitch chat or watch a video and you'll hear the commentator or the caster talking about, yeah, I am just melting, and also you'll see it in chat. So that's a big important thing. And then the Inna's Temperance, the Inna's pants are amazing. They are lacking all res, but that's okay. That's okay. We got some fire res on it. But look at that attack speed, 10%, and you get crit chance on your pants. Amazing. And then we go with the last part, with, the belt. I've been searching and looking for a better belt. I just don't believe there's another one out there that's a better belt. But this has Fizz Res, as we talked about with the shoulders, with the Vile Wards, and All Res. So that stacks. That's beautiful. And it has percentage to life. So I get more life. So that's an amazing thing. And then we're right back at the Bone Saber. And let's go into some of the details here. As you can see, dex-based character. And Vite. I mean, I have a lot of vitality, a lot of life. And armor. Armor reduces all the damage from enemies. So that's pivotal. That's amazing. And attacks per second. My base attacks per second is 2.71. And you're like, what the hell is attacks per second? Attacks per second. I hit the monster 2.71 times a second. So they are melting, as we talked about earlier. And crit chance. Remember when I was talking about, you know, getting that crit chance for your tornadoes. And, you know, it also helps when you have crit damage too with it. Because you get those big, huge yellow numbers. You're like, oh, wow, I'm hitting for 600, 700, 800, a million damage at one time. Really helps you out with those higher monster power levels. Or master levels, they call it. But 41% is really good. For me, for right now. I'm still building on to that because I haven't got that crit chance on the Helm yet. Except they do have it with the Andes, but they don't have a socket, so I can't put a experience gem in there. And crit damage is very low, 200%. I mean, on my other monk, I think I have like close to 400, 500%. So on PC, so that's kind of low. But another really important thing is your all res. It helps you reduce, you know, damage from, say, you know, fire, cold, like anything, any of the elements. But I mean, that's just a basic, you know, tutorial on the bell bursting. I mean, you can modify it, and that's what's so great about Monk and so great about this game, is that you can build what or however you want to build, and that's really good to suit your ability. I like the bell a lot. I like smashing in, you know, on the monster, so that's why I go with that. If you guys do like this video, please give it a like. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more Diablo content, make sure you definitely hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it, and thank you guys for all the support for this Paragon 100, and thank you for the continued support as we're going to get past the Paragon 100 one of these days. Thank you.